Well, hi guys. We have had some requests to do some more Sidcup driving test centre routes. So we're going to do another one. Okay. As before, we're going to start on the road next to the driving test centre. Obviously, because there's tests going on during the daytime, we can't use those spaces up. So the first thing to note is that the roads around the Sidcup driving test centre, you can see on the right hand side there, it's a 15 mile an hour speed limit. So just bear that in mind. The driving test centre is there on the right, that little number 2 on that building, that's the test centre there. So we're going to be going left here. I'm going to follow it all the way around. I'm just going to be careful as well because we want to make sure that no one's coming, but also if there's anyone on their driving test. No. Okay. I'm just going to follow it around, remembering that it is 15 miles an hour speed limit. Okay, and then when we get to the end of the road, we are going to be turning left. Just a little note that there are a couple of little left turns as well before the end of the road, so we want to delay our indicating till we get at least halfway across this junction here. So we check our mirrors, we signal. You can see on the floor it's a left only, so sometimes the examiner may not tell you to turn left, but you're always going to go left here at the end of the road. You can see it on the floor as well as the arrow, and it says left turn. We can also leave that clear for if there was any pedestrians wanting to cross. Okay, yep, looks all clear. And then when you come out here, on the route, you're either going to be taking the next left turn where that tree is on the left. It's quite a tight turn as well, so you're going to have to kind of drop your speed down to get in there and be really careful not to hit the pavement. But we're going to be going straight on towards Ruxley Roundabout. So generally speaking, you either go left here or you'll follow it up towards the Ruxley Roundabout. Now at the roundabout, we are going to be going right, 4th exit. There are 5 exits on this particular roundabout, so I'm not going to indicate yet because there's a road there. I'm going to go past that, then I'll check my centre mirror, right mirror, signalling right. This roundabout can be tricky to get out of. Generally speaking, it's most of the time really busy on the road on the right hand side. So it's really important that we look for what we call blockers, so cars that are coming round and then they take this exit next to us, which gives us an opportunity to make our progress. So, but I might be lucky here. There you go. Yeah, it's not usually this quiet here, but yeah, I'll take that. Okay, so I'll just stay on the right hand, so that's one there. This one's the second one. So just to repeat, we are going to the 4th exit. So this one here is free, so I'm going to check my centre mirror, left mirror, indicate left, and then I make my way across. That's it, and then I'm going to take my signal off after that, and then I'm going to make my progress, checking my mirror as well, just to make sure everything's okay. So yeah, so with that Ruxley roundabout, like I say, usually it is quite busy. On that occasion, got a bit lucky, but I'll take it. It was very, very quiet. Okay, so now we're going to come up, we're going towards Criddles Corner roundabout, and we're going to come to a little one-way system where we are going to go, it's like a fork as well, so we're going to go round to the right. In your driving test, you never go left. You're always going to go round to the right, but it's a question of whether you're going to use the left lane or the right lane, depending where you're going to go at the roundabout. So when we get to the roundabout, we're going to be going straight ahead, 2nd exit. So when I go round here, I'm going to be sticking in the left-hand lane when I go around. So I'm going to stick on the left. It's one lane obviously at the moment, it goes into 2. So I'm going to stay on the left. I'm obviously going to look to the right as well. We can see the the yellow van coming round. And then once I'm in the left lane, let's have a little look. Okay, it looks like I can, I'm not going to take that risk. There's all white Mercedes there. Okay, and I'm going to go from this left lane to the left lane. As I mentioned in your driving test, you're not going to go around to that side. Okay, then at the roundabout, we are going to be going straight ahead, second exit, where a sign says Central London A20. So again, I'm just going to ease off my gas, going to use a little bit of my brake. I'm going to be looking over to the right hand side, and I'm going to be going into the middle, and you'll see in the middle it says the A20. That's the lane we're going to take up when we can go. A little bit busy, so I'm just going to sit and wait. It's up to them. I'm not messing with that bus. Okay, maybe afterwards, yep. So we're going to go into that middle lane. Just going to keep an eye on what they're doing. And then as I go round, I'm going to check my centre mirror, left mirror, and ever so slightly move across a little bit just to drive over it, which says A20. And then here again, I'm going to check my mirrors, going to indicate to tell people I'm coming off. I'm going to check my right side, make sure no one's cutting in front of me. And now I can see the 50 sign, all 3 mirrors, and then away I go. You've got this little stretch here which is 50. Obviously I can't make my progress at the moment because the vehicles in front of me aren't doing the speed limit or anywhere close to it. Right, so I'm going to come off the next exit on the left hand side. I'm going to keep an eye on and see if there's any cars that are coming across me. Looks okay. So to come off, I'm going to be checking my centre mirror, left mirror, indicating left. Lovely. Okay, and then when we get to the roundabout, I'm going to cancel my signal for now. We're going to be turning left first exit on this particular roundabout. Visibility on this roundabout is not very good. You've got the wall on the right hand side, so you're going to have to kind of slow down, pretty much stop, and have a look. So let's check our mirrors. We're going to indicate. I'm going to start using my brake. As I say, I can't see past that wall. So I'm going to make sure that my visibility is good before I... Okay, yep, lovely, all good. Round to the left. Make my progress. There's 2 lanes at the moment. What I'm going to be doing is just keep an eye on that right hand side to make sure there's no one cutting in as it merges into 1 lane. And then this is... we're just going to go straight for a little bit. So I check my mirrors to come out because of the parked van. Check my mirrors to come back in again. And I'm going to consistently be checking my mirror just to give me an update of what is going on behind me, because ideally when you're driving you want to know what's going on around you at all times. You could be the best driver in the world, however if you're not aware about people around you, you can still have an accident even if it's somebody else's fault. So being a part of being a good driver is being aware of what's going on around you all the time. So I'm going to go straight for a little bit more. Now in a little while we're going to be taking a left turn, and what I find with my learners, particularly if they're following the sat-nav, they tend to indicate a little bit early for the left turn. So once the sat-nav says you are going left in so many yards, they seem to indicate a bit early. So it is going to be the next left turn, but it's round the corner, so we make sure we can actually see the road before we start. Usually somewhere around here they start with their mirrors and indicate it's a little bit too early. So we're going to take the next left, which is coming up here. Going to check my mirrors, indicating, going to slow down. Into the road I go. Now these roads are fairly tight, so just take your time as you go around this right bend. That's it, being aware of anyone coming around that corner who may be going a little bit too fast. Okay, again, I'm just going to ease off the gas so I can have a look around, see the van, but we're all right. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to be aware of anyone who may be coming down. Are they going to pull in? I can see by their positioning where they've pulled in for me and they've slowed down. Thank you very much. Anybody else around this corner? Bushes are blocking it, as well as obviously the parked cars on the right. Okay, end of the road, we're going to be turning right. Sometimes, depending visibility because of the parked cars can sort of restrict us. Okay, there's a van there coming, so I'm going to keep an eye on all roads, the middle as well. Okay, looks good. Let's do this. When I get into my new road, I check my centre mirror. I'm going to go round the car, centre mirror, right mirror. And then when I come back over, centre mirror, left. And then we're going to take the next road on the right. Again, this one does sometimes catch students out. There's actually two rights. It's going to be the first right we come to where that grey car is just pulled out of. So I'm going to check my mirrors. I'm going to indicate. And you can't get the whole of your car in, but we're going to go into these hatch markings the best way we can. Obviously there's a bus coming, so I'm going to not pull out in front of them. I'm going to be waiting for them. I'm going to line my mirror up with that centre line, and obviously there's a lot of cars coming, so I'm just going to wait at the moment. Now they're indicating, but I'm not sure if they're going to take the first one or the second one. Yeah, that's why I waited. Sometimes people indicate a little bit too early and they're going to be going to the second one. Okay, check my mirrors again, make sure it's all good, and then into the road I go, being careful with this island in the middle. Okay, there we go. But you see there where they indicated could have been very misleading. They indicated, and that would indicate that they've taken the first left, but they didn't. They carried on going. So I just kind of just made sure they were definitely whether they were definitely taking the first left or if they were going to the one that I sort of assumed they might be going to. The other road as well, got a bit of advantage because I know that road is a dead end at the end. So right, we're going to be taking the next road on the right, so I'm going to check my mirrors, going to signal, going to crawl a little bit, but I'm not going to go too fast. I'm still going to make a bit of progress. Okay, who they're letting them out. Are they going to let me in? Yep, thank you very much. In I go. Now this road here as well is a really tight road, so keep an eye on if anyone's coming towards you, and then look for gaps, because they might come around that corner and you may have to tuck in. So I've got one there, I've got a better one there with the red car, just before the red car. I'm going to check for any reflections around this corner. It does widen a little bit, so that does help. I've got the gap there before the silver car, so I'm going to be looking for any reflections, going to be taking my time, trying to look round the corner. Then the gap on the left I'm going to go into to give myself a better view, so I check my mirrors, moving in. Okay, looks fine. I'm going to check my mirrors again, and then at the end here we are going to turn left. If you take note that we have got a stop junction, so I'm going to check my mirrors, indicating. Okay, and with a stop junction you must completely stop the vehicle, even if it is clear. Like I could actually go here, but I'm going to stop and then I'm going to go. I need to make sure that the car has fully stopped before I proceed again. Now we're going to take the next road on the right hand side. This is a really tight road, and it is a two-way road as well, so I'm going to check my mirrors, going to indicate, going to come over a little bit. Okay, I'm going to be stopping here. So at the moment, no, maybe I can't really go in there yet. Where's he going? You going? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go into that road there. Now the reason why I let him out, we do obviously have priority there. However, the vehicle behind wasn't fully tucked in, so I just didn't really want to get myself into that situation where I get stuck. So I just let it clear out, let everyone sort themselves out. By just letting that vehicle come out, I made it easier for myself as well. Okay, so here, right, they've stopped for me, so I'm going to edge out. I'm going to look both ways. I'm going to look in the middle as well. Okay, and then right, they're letting me go. That's it. Then I'll check my mirrors. I'm in a new road, and I make my progress. So there, obviously, because of the car on the right hand side who let us come out, we still need to make sure it's safe, so we need to look around everywhere, and particularly when we come in to see if there's anyone in that right lane that might be looking to turn right, because sometimes people only think to look to the left because of the car on the right's let us go, but we need to be wary of that other lane as well. Any questions, obviously put them in the comments. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you want to see more test routes, again, let us know, and we'll do some more. Again, we're back on the same road we was on earlier, but we're just coming down the other way. So it's quite a long stretch of road, so it's nice. Okay, so then we're going to come to a roundabout, which we are going to be going straight ahead. So following the road ahead, second exit. Okay, so I'll stick to my left lane. Going to just ease off the gas, a little bit of brake just to get around this bend so I can control it. I'll have a look to the right hand side. There is a vehicle coming. Okay, and then over I go into the left. Once I get along here where the paving is, I can check my mirrors, I indicate left, and then I just control my positioning, my lane discipline. Okay, a lot of the times as well, there is a bus in this bus lane, and sometimes we need to, if it's safe obviously, we may need to overtake them, but yeah, there's no one here at the moment. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to take the next road on the left hand side. So I'm going to check my mirrors, going to signal, going to be slowing right down. It's fairly tight. We want to stay in our lane on our side of the road. Take my time, go around, and then checking my centre mirror, check my mirrors to come out. And then you've got now some roads which are quite tight, so now you kind of got to change your driving style. So where we've been on the main roads, now it kind of gets a little bit tighter, so I speed. We need to change our driving style, be a bit more careful. Right, we're going to be turning right at the end of the road, so I'm going to check my mirrors, going to signal, slow right down, and then sometimes this bit down here is slightly downhill, so sometimes when students go round and they come out, they go a little bit too fast. So this is automatic, so I'm just going to be covering my brake a little bit just to control it, so I can look around the corner. Want to make sure there's no one past, no vehicles coming past that car. Check the mirrors, and out I go. What sometimes people do is they go round and they kind of go a little bit too fast, and they struggle with the steering. They struggle to kind of pull in and tuck in if anyone was coming. Obviously you've got to have a look first to make sure it's safe. And then down here again, we're going to have a tight bend which goes around to the left. You can see there's cars parked there as well. It is a two-way road, so we've got to be mindful any vehicles coming around. So I check my mirror as well. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to try and look around the corner the best of what I can. Okay, now I know it's okay. Then I'm going to be turning right at the end of the road, checking the mirrors, signalling. Okay, lovely. So I'm going to have a look both ways. A bit of a hill, so obviously if you're driving a manual car, you may want to put your handbrake on. But we are driving automatic. going to check my mirrors to come in. I'm going to look down that road. It looks all clear. A couple of humps as well. And then this road, it bends around to the right, and the road markings are not very clear. Where the road goes round to, so it goes around to the right. It's fairly tight. There's sometimes cars parked as well on the corner, so you've got to be wary of that. But you'll see as we get closer that the road markings are pretty much non-existent. So sometimes students get confused whether it's going around to the right or going around to the left. We're just going to follow it around to the right. There are other test routes where you go left here, but you can see there is a few little markings there, but it's not that clear. So I'm going to go round, going to stay on the left, going to look down the road. If there was a car coming, I'd have to tuck in over here. Sometimes there's cars sort of parked further up, which makes that turn a bit tougher. And as I'm driving down this road, I'm going to just keep thinking to myself that maybe a vehicle might come around that corner, and which gaps can I use to potentially tuck in. So I've got one there. These other two are quite small, so I'm probably not going to be able to fit in them properly. I'm still going to be thinking, right, maybe someone's coming around that corner. Maybe I need to tuck in on the left. I'm going to take my time. So as the van as well is making visibility a little bit worse. Okay, again, I'm still going to think, anyone coming around that corner, where can I pull in? Sometimes people, they put their foot down a little bit and then they realise and they've got to make a rash decision. But we're just taking our time. Okay. So we're going to be turning right at the end of the road. And visibility to the right is not great, so I'm going to have to edge a little bit just to be able to see a little bit more. Okay, there's a vehicle that side. And I'm going to turn right, and then I'm going to take the first left. So unless things change, maybe after this white car. Okay, yep, I'm going to be going, and then I'm going to be taking this left, so I check my mirrors. There we go. And I don't sort of accelerate too much. I make sure that I'm comfortable with the speed as the next turning is so close. Again, this road, another sort of really tight road, it's really only wide for one car. Now this bit again, it can be tricky because our visibility is not very good, but all we got to do is we need to just be careful and mindful that someone could be coming around that corner ahead of us. Just going to take our time. Going to look for gaps. I mean, to be fair, got a little one there. Don't really have too much really that I can use. Got one potentially on this bend, but again, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to try look the best as what I can down there. Okay. Alright, lovely. But yeah, what's important, even though there was no one coming towards me, I was ready. If someone was coming towards me, I was ready for him. It would not have surprised me at all, because I was already prepared to stop or pull in whatever I can if there was someone coming around the corner. That's really, really important, to try and anticipate what the possible danger is, what could actually happen. Even if it doesn't happen, be ready for it. Again, same sort of thing here. So not very nice roads. Again, I can't see around that corner very clearly. I'm going to take my time. Before I come out, I'm going to be checking up the road, check the mirrors. Okay. But you can see how I'm anticipating that there may be somebody there. Right, I'm going to be turning right. Sorry, apologies. I'm going to be turning left. Again, this is not a nice one because visibility around that bend. As you can see, you think it's okay and suddenly it changes. But I keep looking. Right. So I thought it was going to be all right. Then we've got the learner coming down. Going to keep looking. Maybe after this vehicle. Yep, I'm going to be going now. That's it. New mirror. Or new road, shall I say. New mirror. It's going to ease off because they don't want to wait. Lovely. do have priority because the cars are parked on the right, but I'm just going to be wary if they kind of push their way through, which some people do. And then on this particular route, from here, it's just straight. You're just going to keep going straight till you get to the road where the test centre is. We are going to be going through Sidcup High Street as well, which I'll talk you through when we're there as well. But otherwise, once on this particular route, you're just going to be going straight for quite a while. You have got like a couple of roundabouts, like little mini ones, but otherwise you're basically heading back now on this particular route. There's space for me, yes there is. There's got space to cross behind me. Didn't want to stop in the keep clear. And then when you're going down Sidcup High Street, or any high street to be fair, just be extra sort of careful in terms of people crossing. So sometimes people don't necessarily always use the zebra crossings. If there's any cars parked up, being wary of anyone getting in cars, coming out of cars, pulling out. Well, it doesn't seem too busy at the high street at the moment. But just because Sidcup High Street is notorious for people just walking out in front of you. So I'm going to keep looking, and then I can see the flashing lights of the zebra crossing, so automatically I'm going to be looking for pedestrians who may want to use the zebra crossing. And then with these crossings, you've got to wait for pedestrians' feet to be completely off the crossing. Doesn't matter which way they're crossing. If there was a central island, then it would be classed as two crossings, two separate crossings even. But otherwise it's one. Right, so let's have a look. We've got the van parked there. I'm not going to come out at the moment because we've got the blue car coming. I don't want to be stuck out there and potentially block them. We will see what happens. So I need to wait unless someone is kind enough. But as I say, they do have priority over me. Okay, so I've got a gap. Going to check the mirrors. Going to be careful as well, pedestrians, particularly on that left side, like that lady holding the tissues. I'm going to wait for her feet to be completely off the crossing. And I'm just going to check this lady on the left. Nope, she's good. And then I'm going to continue again. Got another zebra crossing. You can see the flashing lights at the top. Having a look. Looks okay at the moment. Okay, and then we've got a roundabout. We're going to go straight ahead. I'm just going to ease off. Check in. Okay, right, lovely. Right, looks all good. This person on the left going to use the zebra crossing. Looks like they're thinking to. You are more than welcome, sir. Going to make sure his feet are all the way across the crossing. They are indeed. Off I go. I can see the roundabout sign, even though I can't see the roundabout yet. Going to ease off. Going to start looking for people's indicators ahead of me. If there is anybody there. Nope, nobody there. So on I carry on going. There we go. And like I say, we're just going to keep going straight. Got a zebra crossing. Looks okay. So yeah, that's all fine. And here it gets a little bit narrow. So although we've got priority here, just got to be careful that sometimes people, they don't wait for us. Again, it's fine at the moment, but it's only really wide enough for one car here. So just be mindful when you're coming down, checking what the other driver is doing, whether they are slowing down, whether they are pulling in, or whether you can just see that they're positioning still in the middle of the road and they don't look like they're going to be sort of pulling in for you or waiting for you. Not sure. Am I going to be lucky? No. Okay. And what I'm going to be wary of here is that I'm going straight ahead. The right lane, people can go right as well as straight. So I'm just going to be sort of aware that the person next to me, more than likely they'll be going right, but they can go straight. Also there's a moped as well, so seeing where they're going to go. Obviously I just sort of stay in my position, but I just kind of keep an eye on what they're doing when I start to move off. Going straight on. I'm just going to check my side. It looks okay. And I've got a van. So I need to wait for the vehicles coming through. In this situation, I don't think there's any need to be indicating to come out. It looks all safe. I've checked my mirrors. It's quite obvious what I'm going to be doing. Check my mirrors to come back over again, because that's one of the questions we do get. Do you need to indicate to sort of overtake a parked vehicle? Only if you think it will benefit somebody, but generally speaking, we don't in most situations. So I'm going left here, back to the test centre. Slow down, remembering as well when I go in that it's going to be a 15 mile an hour zone, speed zone, speed limit. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that route. I hope you find it helpful. If you do have any questions, queries, please put them in the comments. Please remember also to like and subscribe, and if you want to see more routes, let us know, and we will do more routes and record them for you. So we're turning right here, going back to the road we started on. The driving test centre would be the next right, where the yellow steps are on the right hand side. That will go into the car park where the driving test centre is at Sidcup.